Okay, so OpenTalk, a 7-minute demo, which allows 3 minutes, now 2 minutes and 39 seconds for AV problems. So we'll see what happens. First thing, WebRTC should be easy. This morning, I told you all that 500 lines of WebRTC took less than 20. Those are the less than 20 lines. Quick, copy them all down, write it in, get an OpenTalk key, and you'll be off and running WebRTC before I finish this demo. And you can start making it yourself. So, more information than you got this morning. Second, your app should run everywhere. Just like these guys just showed it to you on a tablet. Thank you very much. It should run on Chrome. It should run on Firefox. It should run on Internet Explorer. Unfortunately today, if you plug in GCF. But what's really nice, it should run on iOS and bandwidth permitting. We're going to show you that a little later on. And Chrome on Android. Third thing, WebRTC shouldn't be limited to peer-to-peer. If you just went to the video chat meeting, the video chat discussion that happened just before this, you heard a bunch of people from a bunch of companies talking about different approaches. The answer is there's no one solution. You have to have a couple of different ways of dealing with that, and that's part of what we try and do in OpenTalk behind the scenes. And we should show you a demo. Now this morning, we showed OpenTalk for customer service. So we're going to try and show something different now because most of you are here. So let's see if the demo gods will help. Anybody? Oh, look at that, Oscar. OK, so this is Oscar. We showed some screenshots this morning. We're going to try and go live now and show you Oscar in action. So we're going to log in just the way you normally would. Log in, and here we go. So I talked this morning about Oscar being all about geographic locations. You know, what that means is I can say, hey, maybe I want to go and meet in New York. If I want to meet in New York, then I will actually have a choice of choosing different scenes from New York to meet in. Everything is nice and very, very richly created. It's a very comfortable app to use when you're inside an enterprise. It's kind of unlike the standard Microsoft experience that a lot of people find themselves with. But let's go back to San Francisco and see if we can find some folks. Back to San Francisco, and I'm looking for Baker Beach, which I think is over here. Baker Beach, beautiful view of the bridge. Let's fire it on up. And let's allow some video. And hey, Lauren, can you hear me? Hello.
Hey.
Hey. Everybody wave nicely at the people in the audience. So you can't see them. You can just see me. But if I turn you around, you can see that you have several hundred people watching you. So this is sort of the standard Oscar experience. It's a little bit more fun. If you want to be kind of enterprise-oriented, you can do that. It looks fine. But you also have all support for the things you would want, like, oh, I'd like to do some chat. Hi, Lauren, what's the weather like in San Francisco today? Here we go. And we have a full chat capability. So there's nothing special about this app. There's absolutely nothing special about this app. The point here that someone said this morning, it's all about the experience. And what WebRTC lets you do is take advantage of everything you can do in a browser to deliver kick-ass experiences. And this is really what we're trying to do with this kind of thing. How great is it, Lauren?
It's almost 70, I would say.
All right, I'm going to leave you guys. And I'll be back in, I'm going to actually go into another room. So see you later.
Okay, bye.
Off we go. And so that's kind of the Oscar experience. Now that's great. And let's like pop back out to Google or somewhere. But often what I want to do when I want to meet people in enterprise, I just want to say, hey, I want to go meet my friend Dennis. So now we're going to do something else. We're just going to type dev Oscar TokBox.com meet Dennis. And so what's going to happen here is we're going into Oscar. It's going to pick a location for us to meet someone, Dennis in this case. And here we are. We're in a 4-way conference, I believe in Central Park in New York. Badri, say hello.
Hello. I was just helping Dennis find a place.
And so what happens when I ask to meet someone is it actually picks a random location around the world. and drops us all in there. First person in gets the location, and then after that, everybody who joins comes. So if I keep having meetings in my own room, they actually keep jumping around the room. And it's actually a great thing. It breaks the ice inside an enterprise, because the first thing everybody says is, where are we? This is kind of fun. And you have this little comment that lasts 1 minute at the beginning of the meeting, and you're off and running. We find it actually is very, very effective. And actually, if you look at this environment, we got 4 people running. Dennis, I think, is actually, oh, look at that, network, snafu. Dennis is actually running on an iPad, I think, and we can pop back in and see him in a moment. There he is. So I think Dennis is on an iPad, you know, because this is an app we have that actually you can run on an iPad. So that's Oscar. We will pop back out of Oscar. Bye, everybody.
See ya. Bye.
And let's go back to the slides. End of demo. And the last point we made this morning, we'll make again, WebRTC should solve real use cases. And so this morning we talked about OpenTalk for customer service. I'm not going to demo that again. But one of the things actually people were very suspicious about this morning, because I didn't do the demo correctly, was that they said, so when the pictures were changing on the screen, were you doing that? And I said, oh, I was supposed to do this during a demo. Look, Ma, no hands, and make things happen. So I thought what would be nice to show you this afternoon is, you saw the front end. That's what the front end, that's the customer experience, that's what we demoed this morning. This was actually the back end that people were using to actually control what's going on. And one of the things you'll notice about this is that the back end is not the same as the front end. Everybody starts this, and the first thing they say is, we need screen sharing. And the answer is, no, you don't. You need screen control. You don't want screen sharing because the tool that the rep has needs to be different than what the customer is looking at. If the rep is going to look through 5 alternatives before showing the customer or the client or, you know, the stock buyer, the next thing they should buy, purchase, rent, whatever, they need a control that doesn't show the customer all that stuff in between. So what you see here up on this window is actually how Lauren and Malie were controlling my screen this morning, because they can see in the bottom left what castle I'm currently viewing, and actually at the very bottom of the screen, if you read the fine print, you can see the history of what castles I was switching in between before I got there. If you look on the top right, there's an ability to change that hero image. When they were changing the image and walking me through things, that was just using that control at the top of the screen. Same thing at the bottom, I can actually go to a different castle, and of course in the middle, the text chat, video, all that basic stuff. So all of this is actually built on the OpenTalk system, because the system supports not just the video capability and the text chat capability, but this full application messaging capability that lets us do this sort of control in between the customer's regular experience and what I can have on the back end. So that's the end. 1 minute and 43 seconds to go, so I'm helping you catch up. So the last thing I want to say is OpenTalk is what lets all this happen. And again, the basic message from us is we're trying to make enterprise-grade WebRTC really happen to let people build commercial applications. Thank you very much. I'm out.